So I got a new case potentially, but it's definitely different. So PI case. Um, I got a call. Attorney wants to refer over a case. Was hit. So this is a passenger of a car that was hit by Five Star Pizza. I don't know if you have those down there, but big big company. Um, but the so number one, the driver and the passenger supposedly don't have car insurance. So it's going to be going through BI, which means that no payment up front, everything's going to be settled on the back end.
I wouldn't worry about it.
The weird thing is that it's not an attorney's office. It's a retired attorney who was an attorney for 10 years. He's a friend of the passenger and he's going to be sending in the demand letter. But he has a full power of attorney so he can do that. But I don't really know this guy, so I just wanted to. I talked to him yesterday, and
How did he find out about you?
I met him at a BNI meeting because he actually manages three podiatrist clinics locally, but he doesn't practice. Like he doesn't have a Florida bar number.
He
Um,
manages three podiatrists. How's that work? He's a retired attorney and he manage. What's that mean, manage?
that's what he told me. He said, "I just manage these. I don't practice law in a professional capacity. I'm just helping. This is my friend." So that's what's weird. I'm like, okay, so you're not with the law office, it's just you. But he's
That
like,
would- Well, I wouldn't call it weird. He's an attorney, so I wouldn't call it weird. And
yeah, he's
I wouldn't call it weird. It's different, but it's not weird.
yeah. So I just want to make sure that nothing sounds fishy because he's like, look, you just
No,
you
no.
you get
If he's got a limited power of attorney, it doesn't matter who it is. You have to honor it.
yeah. He said, get your own sign, if you want. But basically, he's like, look, with Five Star Pizza, they're gonna have at least $500,000 coverage for
And
BI.
just all you need to do is make sure you have your letter of protection signed, and then make sure you have when he asks for any information, he has to have a limited power of attorney. And then of course you want to make sure you've got a limited power of attorney from those patients to him.
Yeah. So it
And,
was
and then that's fine. The only other thing that I would do is I'd still meet with him and give him the outline. I go, hey, this is how it works. So you can, so you can actually maximize the benefits for your friends here. Let me show you how this comes together. Let's just meet and I'll go over with how we can help support this injury award. Okay. That's what I would do. And it'd be informal. It'd be informal. But I still need him to know how this is going to come together. I still need him to know that. That's all. No big deal. It's informal.
so
Done.
he sent me over a letter of protection that he already had signed because he's like, hey, I know you're gonna need this. I signed it, the patient signed it. Um, I mean, it's not exactly what you gave in the resources, but it's pretty close.
Well, just
Uh,
read it. I mean, it just says they're responsible for paying you. That's all.
yeah, yeah,
That's all.
and yeah, I just want to make sure that I was like, no, no, you shouldn't take this case, kind of thing.
Well, that wouldn't be smart. Why the hell would you not take the case?
Well, if he has power to screw me over at the end, doesn't pay me anything, then
That's what contracts are for.
I know I want to make sure that there's nothing in, that he signed that's going to give him more power to just say, oh, well, we're just going to pay you. You can deal with it.
No, no, limited power of attorney. Now, the only thing about him, he's not an attorney, right? He doesn't have his law license, right?
No, he's not practicing anymore.
Okay, so it's a lien. So it's, instead of saying limited power of attorney, see, since he's not an attorney, see, you just want to modify that language a little bit because he's not an attorney. And that could be a way he would want to squirm out of it, is you signed a limited power of attorney and he's not an attorney, which makes it null and void.
Yeah, so I don't know if the
So you just
limited
need a
power.
lien. You just need a lien. So I would just take out the word attorney. Now, wait a
So
minute. He's sending you the limited power of attorney. So he's fine for the limited power of attorney. I'm talking about the LOP, the letter of protection.
yeah,
That
do you want to see what's been signed? I can share you my screen if you want to see it.
okay.
Um, I can pull it up. So the limited power of attorney, that's not going to necessarily apply in this case.
No, because he had the patient sign the limited power of attorney, so he has access everything the patient has access to.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's fine. It's your lien with him. That's first, obviously, you had them sign off that they're responsible for the bills. And then whoever's representing them, you need to have him sign off a lien that he has to pay your bills first. That's all. And I just wouldn't want it to say attorney on it. So you can still have letter of protection. I'm just not going to have attorney on it. It's just going to be addressed to him personally, his name on there.
I just want to make sure what he sent over is like, well, this says attorney here, but since you're not practicing, is this what I need or do I need to get something else signed?
Okay, wait a minute. Let's slow down here. Slow down, scroll up a little bit. Okay, here's the problem. Esquire, he cannot be representing himself as an attorney. So what's that number? He's putting Esquire in there in his number. It looks like he's representing himself as an attorney, but you're saying he does not have an attorney license. Is that right?
He doesn't have a Florida license.
Okay. So just make sure did he tell you that?
Yeah.
Okay. So he cannot represent himself as an attorney. He can't put on there Esquire. He's like Joe Blow.
Right. Yeah, that's why I'm like, well, why are you putting attorney's name?
Yeah, he can't represent himself as an attorney. And actually that actually get him in trouble. That's like you not being a chiropractor and representing yourself as a chiropractor.
I mean, I guess he went through school, so
It doesn't
technically,
matter. It's whether you're licensed or not.
yeah. So I don't know what this POA means.
If you're not licensed, you're just like Joe Schmo. Legally, that's it. That's why I didn't get my Florida license for many years. I didn't want to have the liability of a doctor of chiropractic if something happened. Even though I'm a chiropractor, I have normal liability like Billie Jean down the street.
Mm-hmm.
So he cannot be acting like an attorney. He can't be representing himself like an attorney in
Yeah,
any documents.
that's what's weird to me. I'm
So
like,
you need to get back with him and go, hey, you can't represent, you don't have a license, you can't represent yourself as an attorney. This got to come out. You're personally responsible. And
yeah,
it's
and
just
then
my attorney.
yeah, and then down here, attorney's printed name. I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
scroll back up. So this was your paperwork?
no, he sent this over before we even said, yeah, we'll work together. I was like, this is weird. You got my
Scroll-
letter. He
Yeah,
like he put all this up here,
yeah, that's
and
weird.
I didn't even we didn't even talk to him. He's like, well, we just
Yeah,
sent
that's weird for him to put that up there. Your logo.
right. right? I'm like, this is strange. I gotta talk to Paul about this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not right. It says, so doctor's lien, but it says, I hereby authorize New Spring Chiropractic to furnish my attorney. This is my attorney, the above name, with a full report of my exam. He's not an attorney. That's not going to work. He's not an attorney. Under the law, he's not an attorney. If he's not licensed, he's not an attorney. And it's confusing because it says doctor's lien, but now, see, this is weird because one's saying lien, and the language in the first paragraph is a limited limited power of attorney paragraph. It's like he's got them combined. It says, I do hereby as new to furnish my attorney with all this information. Well, that's part of a limited power of attorney, not a lien. This is totally screwed up. It's two separate documents.
Oh yeah, and
Now, if he does it right, there's no problem. Okay. Meaning he's got, you want to lien separately. That's separate. And that's saying, that they're responsible. Him or they are responsible when they get the check to pay your bills. That's the lien. Okay. Now that's separate from the limited power of attorney. So then you're going to have a limited power of attorney with your patients so you can access all information everywhere. Now he's going to need a limited power of attorney signed by his patients to access information, but he can't sign off as an attorney. And it can't say attorney in the paperwork.
that's exactly why I knew I needed to talk to you about this. It just seems fishy.
I just told you the problems. So it's how he's doing it that's the problem. It's not that he can't do it. So he's just going about it wrong. That's all. So what he needs to give you, and he may not want to because for him to sign a lien, that makes him liable. I don't think he's going to want to be liable. He's going to want the money, but he's not going to want to sign off and be liable. So if he's willing to sign a lien, your lien, yeah, I see what he did here. He's trying to fake you out here.
It seems like I was like, well, this guy could get the settlement and then just screw me over from what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, he can. Based on this, he can because it says attorney and he's not an attorney.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. This guy might be a little sneaky for him to. I think this guy's sneaky because he put that New Spring Chiropractic on there and he sent it over to you before you even asked. I think this guy's a little sneaky.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got.
That's not the norm. Yeah, that's not the norm for somebody to put somebody's logo. If anything, your logo goes on your own paperwork, not the other person's.
Yeah, exactly.
So what he's trying to do, he can do, but it sounds like he's a little sneaky, number one, little bastard. But he can do that. I mean, you can have, your grandma settle the case. Doesn't matter. But he's got to sign, you got to have him sign a lien that, if he's going to be involved with this, he's going to be responsible. Because I guarantee you, he's having the check probably made out to him, not the clients. He got the limited power of attorney, and he's going to have the check made out to him. So you just let him know what I told you. I said, one, he can't. You're mixing the documents, number one, and you're representing yourself as an attorney, which is false. You can't do that. That's just a flat out that's violating law right there. That's actually criminal. That's criminal right there. For him to represent himself as an attorney, and he's not a licensed attorney in the state of Florida. and he's not.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck the POA and the numbers after that means, but yeah, don't I mean, I would assume if you're not licensed, you can't have
Yeah.
you can't
So
have this document doesn't it's basically not valid because he's
yeah,
not practicing.
what you want to do is send over your lien. Say, hey, you need to sign the lien, and not as an attorney. You're not a licensed attorney. He needs to sign it as an individual.
Okay. So
Hell, that alone will get him out of it. Just, of course, he's violating, not having a license and marketing himself as having a license in the state of Florida. So all you want to do is just point out what I pointed out and say, hey, you need to sign this lien. Just make sure your lien doesn't have attorney on there. You want to just make sure it's him personally. So that's fine. And I bet you he won't sign it. And then you need to have a limited power of attorney signed with your patients.
so can you see this? This is what I would have him sign, but just delete this attorney part here.
Let me scroll up. Let me see. Let me read it.
This is what you had for the resources.
Well, this is really for the patient, not for an attorney.
So what do I have him sign then?
An attorney's lien, but you got to take out the word attorney. So let me read this first. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is a sample that my friend uses. This is for the patients to sign. See, it says "and blank patient." This is for the patient in
Okay.
consideration for this. Basically, is what that is. What you just showed me is a much stronger authorization of assignment of benefits. That's what that is. That's an assignment of benefits. And a lien on the assignment of benefits. Personal injury recovery and patients. Okay. So that is for the patient.
And
Patient signs that.
is this what you're talking about here?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a standard attorney lien right there. You just want to take out the word attorney. That's all.
So if he signs this, then you'd be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got a personal lien with you relative to that money.
So if he gets paid, then I just take him to court.
If he doesn't pay you, yeah, you would just take him to like small claims court.
Yeah. It just makes me nervous doing this thing since he seems like he's trying to be sneaky, shyster.
No, all you got to do is take out the word attorney, and where it says attorney's name, just take out attorney. It says name. Where it says name of your practice, it's not gonna have a practice. Just put name of business. So it says patient's name, his name, and the name of his business. And at the bottom where it says attorney signature, just take out attorney and just put signature. That's it. And that's just a standard lien now for anybody.
Okay. Well, guess I'll send it over to him, see what he says.
And obviously at the top where it says should be printed on attorney's letterhead, just erase that at the top, take that off. So
Okay.
that's patient's name, attorney's, their name, the name, and then where it says practice, just put the name of your business. So that's fine. That's a legal agreement that holds him responsible for payment. And
Yep.
then just have them sign the attorney's lien, and you're fine. You know, legally, you've got them wrapped up.
Okay.
The only thing that I would do in addition to this, just because it's, you know, it's a little different than what he did. Did he used to practice in Florida?
He said he did not, but he could tell me anything.
You want to find out where he practiced, and you want his law license, and you want to go look up his law license and see see if he's had any issues with his law license.
Yeah, yeah. I tried to look him up yesterday in Florida, but yeah, nothing came up.
Yeah. So you want to find out where he was licensed. Did he have any trouble?
Mhm.
But if you had no trouble, then outside of that, everything I told you is just normal. You can have your grandma, you know, do all the paperwork. So
Okay.
I'm actually surprised more people don't do that as a business and undercut the 33% that the attorneys take. Like, just do this, market yourself as a business, you know, and take 7% or 11% or something. And to negotiate, you know, you don't need to be an attorney to negotiate with an insurance company, and then market yourself as, you know, you'll process the paperwork and process the lien for 7% or whatever. I'm surprised this hasn't happened way more, and people haven't started businesses undercutting the attorneys.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you can do it as a patient. Yeah, you can settle your own claim if you know what to
Yeah,
do.
yeah. That's all.
Um,
That's all he's doing, and then he's just going to take a piece of the action from them.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, he says that, hey, I'm not going to be paid anything. I'm just helping a friend out. But he could literally say anything, obviously.
Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter anyway. What, you know, his relationship, what he pays with the client, is nothing to do with me.
Yeah. On
But
another,
do have the patient sign the extended version that my friend that's my friend Dr. Sean Moran in Phoenix. So do have the patient sign.
this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, I have this one as well.
yeah.
Um,
That's just a real strong assignment of benefits, is all that is.
but
For
we just delete this here, right? Or do I have him sign this just as the not practicing attorney? Would I have him sign this line?
so Sean's kind of using this as a lien also. So
Got you.
yeah, so he's using this as a combined lien for the patient and the lien for the attorney. Because if you read through there, some of that language is attorney based, like number 10 says the undersigned attorney being attorney for a patient. So he's using this for as an attorney lien and the patient lien. That's what he's
Yeah.
using this for. So if you only use it for the patient lien, just make sure you go through and eliminate but that's a good lien. I mean, you know, that's a good lien for attorneys. I'd even use that lien probably before I'd use the other one. That's a pretty detailed lien I'm talking about for the attorney and the patient. So,
Mhm.
but that's all you need to do with him, is just clean up what I said. That's all.
Okay. Um, so I've been telling you about these firms that are like 3 hours away. I've gotten some cases from. One that I got three patients in the same car. I've been treating all of them. I don't know why, but the firm sent me a reduction request on the bills, and it's not even.
Want to do a stop sharing? Okay, so what were you saying?
So the attorney or the cases haven't even been settled yet, and they only asked for a bill, like updated bills, a week ago, and they're not done. One's still treating, and they're already asking for a reduction request. And I've gone through the mini presentation. 3 hours away, couldn't meet with them. So, I mean, what I'm planning on doing is just emailing the attorney and just asking, hey, to my knowledge, you guys just got an updated bill last week. There's no way that this is settled. Why are we asking for a reduction request?
Yeah, that's a common sense response.
Yeah. So just want to run that by you.
But remember, they're out of town. They're gonna ask for the normal reduction request because you don't have a personal relationship with them. When you sell the attorneys and they're local, and the local meaning they know there's more potential future business. When they don't think there's more for potential future business, remember I told you that's when you have the highest likelihood of getting screwed.
Mhm.
They're 3 hours away. Guess how much business they think they're going to do with you again?
Yeah, not much.
Yeah. So you obviously you still want to try to do the educational sales presentation and get them to see it, but you're not going to have a personal relationship with them because they're 3 hours away. So it's just going to be one of those fights.
Yeah, it's just gonna be tougher.
Yeah.
So I forgot to ask about um, one of the pieces of paperwork. I just want to make sure. Do I need to get, if this patient ends up coming in the passenger, do I need him to do the UCC form?
They're not out of state. No, I wouldn't worry about it. They're not, I wouldn't.
Okay, that's only for out of state instances.
Well, not legally. I'm just talking about from opinion. You can have anybody sign a UCC and like, who's more likely to screw you? Somebody out of state. So you could with this guy just because it's a unique situation. That does make you want to do a little more, be a little tighter. So you might, truthfully, you might want to have him sign a Florida UCC. Um, you might want to just because it's a kind of a weird situation. Not weird, but yeah, he made it weird by what he did. So
And I would just have the patient sign that one, correct?
yeah,
Yeah. And then would I just use the exact one that you included?
I'd have to look at it. I don't. You
Oh,
won't use a Florida UCC. You can actually just Google UCC, Florida UCC. You can find them free online,
okay. Um,
and then just fill it out accordingly.
so if let me just show you the one that I have that you gave us. I've never done one of these before, so
Yeah, I don't know how old that is.
okay. But I would just Google this.
Yeah, UCC, Lean, Florida.
Okay.
Scroll down a little bit there.
Oh, sorry. I'll share it again. I mean, this just seems complicated when you got to list collateral.
Well, there's no collateral. It's the case. You would just put in the case number, but scroll up just a second. So, okay, you got debtor's name, organization, individual's name, person name, okay. Secured party's name, assignee of assignee or secured party, organization's name, individual surname, okay. Yeah, you may want to go ahead and fill that out just because of what you're dealing with.
Okay.
It's just basic information. It's, you know, the names and dates and what's involved. And what makes it better and stronger is you registering it with the state. That's why it's just another level of increased legality. That's all. So it just says there's a lien. If the person tries to do anything, it's on their credit report. They try to get a loan or this or that. You know, just it basically just ties them up and says, hey, there's this lien here. Take care of the lien. That's all.
And then we just file it with the local.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of it, it's it's just like a letter of protection from to an attorney, or the patient signing a benefit assignment of benefits. That, you know, it's the same thing. You're filling out just basic information, name, address. What are we talking about? You're just registering it with a higher authority. That's all. I don't think he's going to sign off. I don't think he's going to sign off because that makes him personally liable. I don't think he's going to sign off on the lien I was telling you about.
This one.
Yeah, well, the other one, that one, or Sean's, you know, that one too. Yeah, because that puts him. Now, if he had no counter intentions, he'd have no problem signing off, because he already had. I guarantee he already had them sign an agreement that he gets the assignment of benefits, and that it gets paid to him. So he's going to control the money. He's going to control the check when it comes in.
Yeah, he says he has full power, not limited.
Yeah. Well,
So
whatever's on paper is what matters, not what he says.
of course, but yeah, he's
So,
like,
yeah, if he doesn't have any counter intentions, he'll sign it. If he has counter intentions, then he's not going to want to sign it. And then what he'll do is go, well, I'll just send him to another chiropractor. And then you go, hasta la vista.
yeah, I'll say great.
Yep, that's how that works.
Mhm. Okay.
That just tells you he's setting you up to screw you. That's when he's not willing to sign and be liable for it.